Hello everybody, my name is Srikanth Victory. Today I would like to show a demo on the ChatGPT and GPT-3 from OpenAI platform. So I want to split into two parts, one from the consumer standpoint of view, another one from the developer standpoint of view, how we can try to integrate into the program and application. So let's jump on to the consumer standpoint of view. Once you go to the Google, you can type OpenAI. So you can see that one OpenAI on the top. So once you click here, so click the API. Since I already have an account, so let me go and click that login. So I'm going to use my Google. So I'm using my Gmail. So you can see that one, then get onto the OpenAI. You could see on the top overview, documentation, examples, and playground. So I can go to the documentation, go over more in detail. Since it's going to be more from the consumer standpoint of view, I'm going to click the examples where you could see all the capabilities. There are a bunch of capabilities that are listed out. So each capability in turn, it's mapped into the model or engine. So if you have not read my blog, you can read out on my LinkedIn. So where I talk about all the models, what models can be used for what. So I want to spend more from the consumer standpoint of view. Let's forget about all the abstraction of about the models and so forth. So you can see that read all the categories. You can also try to filter it if you want to see the answers. These are the capabilities which are related to the answers. So it's pretty much like a more natural language query. You can ask the question to GPT-3. You can try to ask the question how you're asking the question to the Google. So very similar to that, right? You can try to ask the question to the GPT-3 and ChatGPT. The ChatGPT is basically an advanced version of GPT-3, or it's kind of built on top of the GPT-3 models. That's more advanced, but GPT-3 is going to be fairly good. From the developer standpoint of view, ChatGPT as of today, it's not yet open for the developers, but GPT-3 is open for both the developers and consumers, and ChatGPT is open for consumers only at the moment. So let me try to click all categories. So I want to show you a couple of categories, how we can try to use trade these capabilities as part of the consumer day to day. Once you they summarize for second grader, where you could see the prompt, sample response, and API request. This kind of quick preview. It's for both the developer and also the consumer. So let's click the open in playground. When you click it, it comes with the default text. If you want, you can change it. So once you go there, so you can see that one the default text. Okay, what comes with that one? We want to summarize this particular information. When you click submit, so this, by the way, this is a GPT-3. We're not yet there on ChatGPT. I'll try to show you the ChatGPT in a second. Look at that one at the bottom. Try it now. I'll show it as a separate demo. So when you click here, this particular text, okay, paragraph, it's summarized into a couple of lines. So I already opened Wall Street Journal. Let me go and click the earnings week for Amazon, Apple, and Google. Let me try to copy and paste some text from here from the article. So you can do from anywhere. So I can go and click erase everything, copy paste. Okay, I'm trying to ask the question to GPT-3. Try to summarize the above text, above message. You can see the right side bunch of parameters. Leave it now, everything with the default. And if you know about each one of them, you can try to play around. But these parameters have been set for the optimized purpose of this summarization. And if you know really well read based on the documentation, you can try to move around certain temperature or maximum length and whatnot. So I'm going to click submit button. So now it's going to summarize based on the message. It's going to summarize into 2 to 3 sentences. You can see that one. I can also ask some questions. Okay, try give me top 5 themes from the above message. I try to ask the question. It's going to provide the top 5 themes from the above article or above text. So that's going to be pretty quickly to understand the bullet point or dot points to understand what are they. And also I can say it's not relevant here. Let's assume that one it's going to be more educational text. Then I can ask that one, give me top 3 quiz questions from the above. Pretend like this is a educational material or an educational article. So now it's going to respond it. three questions from the about text. I just want to show you sample and example to you, all of you. So that's about this particular capability for summarization. And if you can go back and other examples, if you want to try it out, let's try to do some classification. So again, you can see the example with the prompt and the sample questions. You can click the open in playground. It comes with the default information so that the people can quickly test it out. Okay, and then if you're asking that one, these are the three companies out there. So where they fall into, what category they fall into. When you click here, you can see that one, hey, this particular Apple falls into technology category. So I can change here, let's say, I want to know FedEx or Facebook. Okay, so what category it falls into. Probably that it's not trained because this is a question for the categorization classification. We need to ask for the specific. You can see the social media. So you can try to have a bunch of questions and then it's going to classify automatically. So all these models, these are the models. You can see that one. Okay, you can see that the top four models and then the bottom two is going to be for code generation. So these models are all trained based on the internet data and various sourcing data, Wikipedia and so forth. And then we can also try to train the data. This data all trained with the raw text. It's not a labeled data. That's a big revolution of the neural network begin to scene for the AI. So anyways, right, this is a from the consumer standpoint of view where you can try to categorize it, classification, summarization, sentiment analysis, and themes, word cloud. There are quite a few things you can translation, quite a few things you can do with this GPT-3. So let's get on to the chat GPT. As I mentioned, chat GPT is built on top of the GPT 3.5 or 3. So more advanced version when you try to click it. So now, right, that just chat GPT, the way it works that one, you can ask the question directly. You don't want to mention what capability we want to try it out. We don't want to say this is for classification or this is for the summarization or whatnot, right? You can ask the question, let me ask something different. Write an essay about the ways of improving United States educational system. So this is going to create automatically read the essay. Okay, so for the question, whatever we ask for that one. So that's why right, all the schools, right, they're banning this chat GPT because students can use this chat GPT for various purposes. So you can ask quite a few questions that you can ask directly to the chat GPT. So as I mentioned, ChatGPT is not yet open to the developers at the moment, but you can the consumers can use it. And then you can also ask some question. Let's say translation. Say hello in Spanish and French languages. So if we ask this question, it's going to automatically translate whatever text we are given. The translation service is a bit slow. Still, it's getting trained, I believe. So you'll get that right response back for whatever you ask the question, whatever you want to translate in a particular language. So it's taking some time. In the interest of time, I can stop this one. I hope it helps you. Yeah, now you got it. So back to the point here, there are so many examples are here, so many categories. So all these categories, the open AI, where the consumers can use it and try to leverage out of that. You can also use a SQL translate. If someone wants to do the developer standpoint of view, they can ask this question, right? And you can try to ask some of the select statement queries and so forth, right? You can use that one. So you can play around. As I mentioned that one, I want to give a quick video. There are so many capabilities. It's pretty much ready. You can ask the question, hit the submit, you're going to get the response back. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, these are the parameters. If you know those parameters, you can try to optimize it, but otherwise you can leave it as default. That will be a good optimized, right? Prime optimization parameters have been set by default. I hope it helps you. I'll try to show you another demo from the developer standpoint of view. Thank you.